Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian at the Association of the United States Army's annual convention and trade show in Washington, D.C. And we have with us Mike Peck, who is with General Dynamics Land Systems. You're the Enterprise Solutions Business Development Director. Sir, really interesting vehicle. You put it together in 5 months. Obviously, the Army's looking at the mobile protected firepower platform, the light tank of the future, about 32 tons. What are you guys trying to achieve with this vehicle?
Well, the Army has been talking about this requirement for a couple of years, and they haven't really honed in on a solution set yet. We've been listening to them, we've been paying attention, and about 5 months ago, before Industry Day that happened in August, we decided we really needed to move. We needed to make a statement, not put a PowerPoint presentation together, but actually physically show them what industry is capable of doing in a rapid prototyping kind of situation. So we've taken 3 different programs, very mature but very state-of-the-art programs, melded them together, and so you have the DNA of an Abrams tank, you have portions of the UK Scout Ajax program, and you have some investment the Army made during Future Combat Systems and the XM360 cannon that you see on this particular vehicle. So we took an Abrams turret, made it lighter, took a 23-ton turret and made it about 8 tons, so we changed what it's made of. But if you climbed inside of it, it looked exactly like an Abrams tank. So if the Army's looking for something they're familiar with, so that their gunners, their loaders, their commanders are used to, this is something that might appeal to them. We took an AJAT chassis that the Brits have invested almost $1 billion in over the last 7 or 8 years, and we modified this chassis to accommodate the turret. And then we went to RDEC and said, can we borrow your cannon? So we borrowed their cannon. We put a trunnion on this particular turret so that it would accommodate this experimental cannon, the lightweight, half the weight of the current Abrams cannon. It'll take the current Abrams cannon at 120, and it'll also take the original 105. So the Army has a choice here on the kinds of weapon systems that they would like in this particular demonstrator. And then we brought it here. This is the unveiling of this particular demonstrator, and we really have had some really great conversations with the Army to say what we did right, what we got wrong, some things they would change, delete, add. And so we'll go back over the next 9 to 12 months. We'll build something a little bit different, and hopefully in September we'll be able to take it down to Fort Benning and put it in the hands of some soldiers, shoot it, and let them see what it can and can't do. And from there, we'll see what the Army decides they need to do.
The part of the thing is that the Army is trying to develop what it wants to do. Again, long process on this. But as you guys are looking at what the Army requirement ought to be, I mean, one of the hard parts of it is the 32-ton weight limit. But aside from that, there seems to be quite a lot of open and for interpretation. As you guys look at what you think the Army needs, what do you think the Army needs in terms of a solution?
Well, they've got a problem in their infantry brigade combat team. They don't have any firepower. They land, they don't have anything to defeat bunkers, they don't have anything to blow holes in walls. And so they really do need a direct fire cannon of some capability. They can put vehicles on a C-17 and air land after they've secured the airhead. So we think that this medium weight, it's not a lightweight, it's a medium weight capability that kind of fits the right niche. So as you see it today, it weighs 27 tons for the demonstrator. The Army can make some decisions that we can do some trades and maybe get it lighter. It may end up getting heavier, but that's their decision on what they want to have as the end result of the mobile protected firepower of the future. And so we hope we can give them some thoughts about how industry looks at it. We also want to show them that we're not sitting around on our thumbs. We're innovative. A lot of industry can do things on its own faster than the Army can do it. The Army has some constraints. They got budgetary constraints. They got requirements constraints. They've got regulation constraints. Industry on its own doesn't. So we were able to do this tech demonstrator in 5 months from nothing. And so we feel like that it kind of shows the Army that maybe there's a different way to acquire systems.
The other guys, BAE System, is also proposing, it looks like it's going to be an updated version of the armored gun system that was dated from the early 1990s, and obviously that was a program that got canceled, and Stryker was born of that. What do you see in terms of looking back at your system? What's the performance characteristics of this vehicle? What's the propulsion train like? What's the suspension train like? And it was interesting that you also have these low skirts, which I want to ask you about.
Well, we've gone with some lightweight track and with some lightweight road wheels. The engine is a European engine. It's an MTU engine, 700 horsepower, so we've got plenty of power to weight ratio. That's changeable. We don't know what the Army really wants in that kind of thing, but this is proven technology that's in the field right now with the Brits and have been tested for a long time in their Ajax program. So we feel very confident that the chassis itself is a state-of-the-art chassis that can do anything the Army would want it to do. The turret speaks for itself. It's been on Abrams for a long time. And it takes all the modernization that the Army has invested in over the last 20 years. It can all be applied to this particular turret. So when you walk in it, the comm systems are the same. The fire control systems are the same. The gunner's handles are the same. There isn't anything different. So if you didn't know you weren't in an Abrams tank, you wouldn't know you're in a Griffin.
So as soon as you wrap your hands around those Cadillacs, you know that you're absolutely in an M1 tank.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what everyone that's been in there that's been a tanker says, this is an Abrams. So I said, no, it's not. But it is Abrams-like. I mean, we changed the turret because it is, I mean, you got to take some weight out, so it's a different material. But it's the same configuration, and you can apply the same modernization that the Army's been developing. ECP 1A and 1B can all be applied to this.
Why did you, just out of curiosity, I mean, why did you guys go with the low skirt on this? Normally you just see the half skirt and not the rubber that extends all the way down.
Well, part of it is aesthetics. Okay, it looks better this way. But the other is, you know, that's not the primary reason we wanted somebody to come in here and kick the tires. We didn't want them focused on the track or the road wheels or the suspension. We wanted them focused on the concept. This is what we put together. What do you like? This is what would you change? And so we didn't want to have those, you know, how far does the gun go up? How far down does the gun go? We wanted to talk about the overall capabilities that the Army needs.
From the standpoint of lightweight track, road wheels, and all of that, what program did those come from? I mean, was that something that was from Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle or something else, or did you go with something more robust?
Strictly out of the Ajax program, but we went with a lighter weight, and we went with a track from Europe that was about half the weight of the Abrams Bradley kind of track, and so we thought that was a good start point. You could put band track on here. There's lots of options. It depends on what the Army wants to trade. And so we're listening to them and hoping that we understand over the next month or so what it is they're willing to trade.
And in terms of crew, are you going with a 3-man crew, 4-man?
This is 3 men in the turret plus a driver, so 4-man crew.
So very conventional in terms of the layout. You didn't go French with a massive autoloader in the middle.
We're not going to autoloader. And you know, the Army still believes that man in the loop, that man with his head out of the turret, is a better indicator of the situational awareness than the camera. And you can't hardly argue with them.
Sir, thanks very much. Best of luck with the program.
Thank you.